with storage, it's definitely forgiving, right? I mean, the operating margins are, apartments, you can average maybe 50%, whereas storage, you can be 65, 70%. So that was one of the things, is just the expenses are much lower when you're actually managing the properties. But then, beyond that, a couple things. I mean, if you look at the demographics of a lot of, current storage owners, there's a lot of, older folks who are looking to retire that maybe have not, managed their facility to, optimal 2021 levels, if you will, where they haven't raised rents in 10, 20 years or, whatever. They're just happy with how it's been, it's worked well for them, but that leaves a lot of upside, for folks to come in and turn around a facility. So, when I saw some of those characteristics, and then, seeing some of the systems that Mike was using to, help manage this stuff, those are all kind of some of the things that attracted me to go to storage, the storage route as opposed to apartments or, some of the other areas.
Got it. So I heard that, so the profit margins, you mentioned like 65-ish% for storage, and that's lower for a lot of other asset classes. So you're like, okay, this is more profitable.
Right.
And also you mentioned what it sounds like is like you have identified a strategy with Mike that says basically, hey, are you particularly looking at assets that are underperforming? And so you're like, hey, here's a value add. Here's something that they're like, these owners are like 115 years old. They haven't done anything. It's
his main demographic is 115 or older.
115 plus, right? Yeah. That's the list he buys. Like how?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, well, that is a lot of people. I mean, to give you an example, a facility I own in Alabama, I mean, there's somebody in town who I've been in discussions with for a while, just kind of trying to befriend him, but he's 93 years old and he goes to the office pretty much every day. Right. So, and he's told me he hasn't raised rates in 20 years and stays full. He's half the price of, what I'm charging. So, so if you're looking at the value, so to go back to your question though, it's all about, trying to find value at properties. That can look like a couple different things. It could be more kind of distressed where, if 50% plus vacancy. I mean, I've seen places that are 100% vacant. They exist out there. I mean, you drive by them, right? It looks like a storage facility. It's just a bunch of garages in a field, and people they just gave up on it, or it wasn't their primary focus or whatever, they inherited it. But, you're in some of these, especially southern states, the property taxes are so low, like it doesn't really cost them anything to just hold on to it. So they're just sitting there, right? So you'd be surprised. You start driving around, there's vacant facilities. And then, the other side of it is, you can find ones that are essentially 100% full that are charging half the rates of, what other people in the market are. So, you can just double the revenue just from bringing operations up to, the standards of some other, places in the market.
So there's a few ways to increase the value of that. It's not just like a one size fits all. You got to be a little bit maybe creative and look at different aspects of underperformance.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the other thing is looking at expenses too, right? So historically, a lot of folks manage these with a full-time employee or a pretty, hefty part-time employee. Now with some of the models you can use with call centers and bring in like e-commerce, online rentals and stuff like that, you really only need essentially a part-time maintenance, supervisor, boots on the ground, we kind of call them. And they come in maybe an hour or two a week, depending on the size of the facility. So you can cut your labor costs significantly, right? So if you're looking at a property and they've got a full-time manager on site and they're paying them a good amount, not that you're looking to displace people, but that's definitely not the most efficient way to be running these things, today.
It's fascinating. It sounds like it's a whole lot more hands-off than some of the other asset classes you had mentioned previously.
Yeah, for sure.